Rays, the last hope for light. Chapter 1. The birth of light. The world had long forgotten what it meant to wake up to the rising sun. Generations had passed since its final glow faded into darkness, leaving behind an endless night. The colonies scattered across the frozen world had learned to survive in the black void, guided only by the eternal fires that burned at their center. Each colony had one fire, and it was sacred. Some worshipped it, some protected it fiercely, but most had believed it was their only source of life. The people of the Mwangaza colony had not seen their fire flicker, not once in over a couple of decades. It burned strong, unwavering, until the day the twins were born. Walezi gritted her teeth as another wave of pain tore through her body. The small, dimly lit hut smelled of sweat, burning herbs, and something metallic: blood. She clenched the thin blanket beneath her, struggling to keep her breathing steady. "You need to be silent," whispered Mlinzi, her husband, his voice low but urgent. He was kneeling beside her, gripping her hand tightly. "Silent?" Walezi gasped. "How do you expect me to be silent? You will wake up the entire colony," Mlinzi said, his dark eyes darting toward the wooden door. Outside, the colony was quiet as it always was at this hour of the day. People did not linger in the streets after a certain hour. It was a rule, an unspoken one, passed down through generations. Stay close to the fire. Do not wander. Do not question. Yet even through her pain, Walezi could feel something was different on this particular day. The air was too still. The fire's usual warmth, which seeped through the walls of their home, felt distant, weaker somehow. The midwife, an elderly woman named Mama Makunga, knelt between Walezi's legs, her hands working with quiet efficiency. Sweat glistened on her wrinkled forehead, but her expression remained unreadable. She had helped bring many children into this world, but none under circumstances like these. "One more push," Mama Makunga commanded in a hushed voice. Walezi let out a muffled cry as she bore down, feeling the unbearable pressure shift, and then relief. A tiny wail pierced the silence of the hut. Mlinzi exhaled sharply as Mama Makunga swiftly wrapped the newborn in cloth, holding it close. "A boy," she announced, but something about her voice sounded cautious, uncertain. Walezi barely had time to catch her breath before another pain seized her. Her stomach tightened again. It wasn't over. Mama Makunga's eyes widened. "There is another." Mlinzi's breath caught in his throat. "What?" "Twins." It was unheard of. There had only ever been one ray born to a colony at a time. One child with the gift of light, destined to sustain their people. But now, two. Fear crept into Mlinzi's expression as he locked eyes with Walezi. They both knew what this meant. History had told them what it meant. No two children had ever been born of the same parents at the same time, especially not one expected to be one of the Rays. Or maybe not as far as anyone knew. So whatever it meant, they would not let their children find out. The second child came faster, slipping into the midwife's waiting hands. Another cry, softer than the first. Mama Makunga hesitated before speaking. "Another boy, but he looks so much like his brother. It'll be hard to tell them apart," Mama Makunga said as she tied a red ribbon around his hand to distinguish him from his brother. Mlinzi's hands trembled as he reached for the newborns. His mind swirled with questions, fears, and the crushing weight of what this meant for their family. "We cannot let them know," he whispered. "Not even the elders." Mama Makunga's lips pressed into a thin line. "You ask for a great deception." Walezi, exhausted but resolute, tightened her grip on Mlinzi's arm. "If they find out, they will take one. We will not lose our children, not even one." The old midwife studied the newborns, then exhaled slowly. "You will need more than secrecy. You will need trust. Who else will you tell?" They had to be careful. Bringing more people into their confidence meant greater risk, but they could not do this alone. Mlinzi thought of his brother, a quiet man who never questioned, but always helped. Perhaps him, and Walezi's sister Shangazi, a healer who might help conceal any unusual sicknesses or differences in the twins. Only those who would die with their secret. Walezi's voice was firm despite her exhaustion. Only those who must know. The colony fire burned higher that day. Flames licked the sky, brighter than they had ever been before. People woke in the hours of rest, murmuring in awe and fear. Some saw it as a sign of prosperity, others a warning of change. But only a few, the elders who had watched over the fires for generations, knew what it truly meant. A new Ray had been born, or perhaps one who was even more powerful. The elders gathered before the hours of work, their faces lit by the fire's strange glow. The flames reached higher, crackling with an intensity none had seen before. "This is unnatural," Elder Musa said, his voice heavy with concern. "The fire has only ever burned steady. Never this." "The signs are clear," Elder Bahati countered. "A great change has come upon us." Elder Nuru, the eldest among them, leaned on her staff, eyes fixed on the roaring fire. The others exchanged wary glances. The fire had always been their guide, its intensity marking the arrival of each new ray. But this was unlike anything recorded in their histories. "What if this is not a blessing, but a warning?" Elder Musa asked. "If the fire has changed, so too may our world." Elder Bahati shook his head. "We do not question the fire. We honor it. Whatever has come, we must prepare." Elder Nuru turned away from the flames, her gaze sweeping over the gathered leaders. "We must watch. If this change is for the good of Mwangaza colony, we will see its benefits soon enough. If it is a curse, we will see that too." "The child's name?" Elder Musa asked. Mama Makunga had provided it to them. "Thando Wethu." The elders frowned. "That is not a name of light," Elder Bahati murmured. "Every ray has carried a name tied to the sun, the stars, or fire itself." Elder Nuru nodded. "And yet, this one carries the name of love." A heavy silence followed. The fire burned higher still, as if it too had something to say. The council murmured their agreement, though uncertainty lingered in the air. Some would pray, some would plan, others would fear. And in the quiet of the dawn, unknown to them all, there was not one but two newborns sleeping cradled in their mother's arms, the secret of their existence hidden in the shadows of the fire's growing light.